I just want to do God's will.
The kind of revolution that the world needs is a Christian revolution.
If you want a miracle, you've got to expect it to happen.
You are the recipients of God's grace and God's blessings, and you rejoice in that reality.
Welcome to Life Today Live. I'm Randy Robinson, and I have something to announce, something that you will want to check out coming up this Friday and Saturday this week. So get your ducks in order. You want to be a part of this. It is a massive worldwide gathering of Christians online called Gather 25, and the visionary behind that is the woman who you've seen. She's a teacher and author. She has the IF Gathering, Jennie Allen, and she joins us to tell us about this event. And seriously, this is a very cool thing. So I appreciate you checking it out. And hit that share button, let other people know, because we want to get as many people in there as we can for this weekend. Jennie, welcome to Life Today Live. Good to see you again.
Great to see you, Randy.
So explain exactly what this is for people and how they can be involved.
Yeah, so go back a few years, and I had this crazy dream that Jesus was coming back soon, like 10 years from that dream. And I don't know when he's coming back, of course. Nobody does. But I do feel like it made me very urgent. And I woke up from that dream, and I thought, you know what? We should gather the global church. Now, we have been gathering women together all over the world with IF Gathering for 10 years. And so it didn't feel completely crazy to me. Now that we're about to pull this thing off, I realize how crazy it is. But we are going live Friday from the United States at 7 p.m. Central, and we will pass the baton to New Zealand after our part, and they will pass the baton to Malaysia, and all of this is happening live for 25 hours. We will go around the world on every continent to the entire world. For the first time in history, it's possible for this to happen. The global church has not been able to gather in this way because we haven't been able to overcome all the language barriers in the way that we can now because of artificial intelligence. So AI has been our good friend here and has made this actually possible. And we are going to be able to live translate to over 80 languages as we go around the world. And we're talking about, Cluj, Romania, Peru, places where, people will be speaking in different languages, but it will be immediately translated into everyone's language, at least over 80 something of them.
Okay, I have heard about this. I've had friends of mine talking about this. So literally, like if you're speaking, they're going to hear it like as if you're speaking in Peru in Spanish.
Yeah, so some of the languages, yes, that will be the case, and some of them will be, of course, at the bottom in subtitles. So we've got both ways for depending on the language that you're choosing.
Yeah, that is wild to me. I love that. That is okay.
Yeah.
So what will they see? What will the content be?
Oh, I mean, we've got the best speakers in the world. You can go to gather25.com and see all of our speakers. Some of them you won't have heard of, but I'm just telling you, we got the greatest speakers on every continent. And so it is going to be incredible. And we have worship leaders traveling all over the world, as well as local worship leaders that are coming together in Africa. We've got the Burundi drummers and the Watoto Children's Choir that are rescued children soldiers that have taken over YouTube. You can look them up. They're incredible. And so it's just going to be a really beautiful picture of, picture It's a Small World on an epic scale and moving through each part of the world and really getting a grasp that, one, God is moving. We should not be discouraged right now. The church is thriving. The church is healthy. The church is growing most of places in the world. And we're watching revival happen on every continent. We have pre-recorded almost 30 stories that will air in this 25 hours that will show just how beautifully God is moving on earth. And I think everyone that watches this will leave and really feel strongly that, one, we are a big team spread out all over the world. 2.5 billion people say they love Jesus. So we are a strong, big team all over the world. And we have an important mission. 5.5 billion people do not yet know the love and the hope of Jesus. And that's why we're gathering. We're gathering not just to have a big kumbaya moment, although I think that will be pretty incredible that the whole earth will be worshiping God at the same time, every continent, the same songs. So I think that's pretty cool. But I do believe the greatest purpose for this is that when I woke up from that dream, that I was urgent. It wasn't good news that Jesus was coming back soon because we had so much work to do. And so my hope is that as a team on mission together, we could reach those 5.5 billion people by 2033, which is the 2,000-year anniversary of the church. So that's our dream. You can watch it anywhere. You can go to gather25.com. Just give us your information. We'll send you a link. We're going live from TBN. We're going live on the YouVersion app, the Bible app. You can go there for those 25 hours and click and see it there. So it really is kind of a miracle. I mean, YouVersion has 800 million subscribers. TBN reaches 2 billion. So yeah, we've got the reach to do this. We've got already, I believe it's 15,000 events that are being hosted around the world. So you can host in your home or your local church. I know it's last minute, but I would just encourage you to grab a few people and watch it from home with people you love.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay, you mentioned the music, and I got to ask about that. So I see John Mark Comer, Carrie Job, her husband Cody Carnes, Matt Maher, Darlene Check, a few others. So, are they going to be leading worship and literally it'll be around the world? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone is everywhere. In fact, every continent chose who they wanted to lead, who they wanted to speak. And so it's been special. Like each continent really is hosting the world. It's Africa. It's my friends in Africa, Pastor Charles, Mugisha, and others that have said, okay, we're going to host the world. This is what we believe the world needs to know about the church in Africa. So every continent really has helped build the program, but it's so beautiful. Everybody's just said yes. Everybody wants to work together. Everybody wants to be a part of this. I mean, it's a really historic moment. My friends in Malaysia, I just got a message from Mark Varghese in Malaysia, and he has 10 churches throughout called Kingdom City throughout Asia and Oceania. And he called and he just said, I just was thanking him because they're bringing together thousands of people. They're hosting from their home location. And it's so much work, And I just said, thank you so much. And he was like, no, thank you. Like, we are so honored to be a part of this. And so I really do believe it's just such a big group project. This isn't something we're doing in the U.S. This isn't something my team is doing. This is something we're all working together to accomplish. And I just think how powerful if we do more of this, because it really has been such a joy. I mean, certainly there's been warfare and attack, and I mean, I could go on and on about that, but we have largely just experienced so much joy through this of people around the world hearing their stories, being so encouraged. It really is a special moment. I hope everyone tunes in because you really will feel like you missed something because it's just never happened before in the history of the world. And it is something that I think we will all tell our kids about, that the day that the world gather, I mean, the whole church around the world. And, I think we'll be doing this, I hope, every 2 years. This is our first one. But I think this one will be special. It'll probably be a little bit more unknown. I mean, nobody knows what it is.
Right.
But yet all these people have said yes. So it really is an act of faith for all of us. But God has provided.
You know what's crazy? And I don't know. Have you seen some of the registration where people are registering the countries?
100. Right. I think we're at 185 countries that are hosting events. I mean, that is insane.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
There's only 195 countries, if y'all are wondering.
Okay.
And I think some of the ones we are not currently visibly in, based on our language choices, we probably are even in those, but VPNs are set so that it wouldn't show that they were in these dangerous countries.
And that's my question, because there are some places where Christianity is underground by necessity.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the encouragement that you're going to give them.
That's a great thought, Randy. So first of all, we are going to show the persecuted church like it hasn't been shown before. I mean, we've got, I don't know, under 10, but several persecuted church stories from around the world. And so we're going to be able to give the rest of the church a peek into what those that are, in Afghanistan are feeling, what those are in Turkey are feeling, what those in India are feeling. We're going to give a glimpse into even some Asian countries that we couldn't name are feeling. And so we are, we've got all those stories. I mean, it will just blow everybody's mind. That will be special. There's an hour of the persecuted church. We're actually showing it at the Eastern time zone and the Western time zone. And you can go to our website, gather25.com, and find all of that. But I would just say everybody wants to see that because it will be so powerful for people to see that. But I programmed the whole thing for this man that I don't even know, and I don't even know his name. But my friend Gokin, who you'll hear his story, told me about him, and he said, he lives in a village, and as far as he knows in Turkey, he's the only Christian in that village. And I thought about him, and I told my team as we programmed the entire event, I'm like, we're programming it for our friend in Turkey that thinks he is the only one that he knows in that village. And we are going to encourage him so much. That has been our prayer, is to really imagine the people that feel totally alone. And it's so cool. Several people from the persecuted church have found a way to reach out to me and just said, I want to thank you for telling our stories because we feel invisible. And to know that the church at large is praying for us and knows that we're here means everything. And so even if it's just for them, even if it's just for that, I think the church is going to be blown away, really grounded at our freedom and what we should be doing with it, because so many people are risking their lives every day.
Yeah, and that's the absolute truth. I bet you pick up a lot of people in Iran because there's a massive underground church there, and God's doing so many things, and they're really wired, so they're able to join. And like you mentioned, Turkey. I mean, I'll be careful what I say publicly. Just suffice to say, it's not easy to be a Christian in Turkey these days.
It's not easy, yeah. And I mean, you can pray for everyone that told their story. It does feel brave. I mean, some people just insisted that we show their faces, and we allowed that on people that were already public figures or had shared their story before. We had to blur a lot of faces, as you can imagine. But yeah, just super candidly, 2 years ago when I set out into this, I was floored and shocked at some of what's happening out there, because I guess I assumed, there were certain countries I knew that probably did happen, but to see it, to get to know people in it, we're going to go into northern Nigeria, and I mean, our crew risked their lives literally to go in to tell this, and it's just, this is where more people are dying for the gospel than anywhere else in the world combined, and so it's going to be something to see.
So here's a question, because this is not an easy thing. What made you mentioned your dream, but how hard was it to pull this off?
I have the greatest team, and we work with God. I mean it. Like, how does he part a Red Sea? What are the stories that he's done? This couldn't have been possible without God. But our team is brilliant. We have the right people have just said yes. They've poured out everything they've got for this. They have, pour them. Like, all of us are going to need a little sabbatical after this is over. Yeah. It has been insanely costly. And just signing up for spiritual warfare and attack, like, that's been a part of the story as well. And so I'm so proud of our team. But we're little Gideon's army. I mean, there's only, I don't know, 40 of us pulling this thing off. Yeah. So it is a miracle. But, and I mean, like, on our team, payroll, but then the team got really big when all these people just said, yes, we'll help. So partner organizations that have been invaluable, like Radical, and you look at the alliances like Illuminations and people like YouVersion and the Bible app, that people like
that's great.
You guys, Life Today, thank you. Like, it just takes all of us to do this. And so we're just so grateful.
I know you needed to go. Last quick question for people watching. I want everybody to sign up, and we'll talk about that in a second. But how can people pray for you in this event?
Man, well, of course, I want, please pray for us and our family. Like, this is risky, but I'm going to defer to have you pray for those that are risking their lives to watch, those that are risking their lives to be a part of this, to tell their stories. Pray specifically for the persecuted church. I'm so proud of them, and they are the heroes of our day. Like, they are the heroes of our day.
Yeah.
And so pray for protection, and then just pray. We've still got, a few needs in all of this, technological, financial, all of it. So yeah, you can pray for all of that as well. But ultimately, we just want everybody to come and to experience it. We know this is from God, and we know that he's going to pull off every last detail.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate it. I know you're busy. I'll let you go.
You bet.
All right, this is the website. It's global25.com. You can go there now, and you can register. It's free, so be a part of it. Gather25.com is the website, gather25.com. And, she mentioned Burundi, and I was in Burundi about a year and a half ago, and we worked there to drill water wells, thanks to many of you people watching. And if you're not familiar with the Water for Life program, it's at lifetoday.org, Water for Life, and it's a beautiful thing. And we work with local pastors in Burundi, in as many countries as we can, but in Burundi, there's a gentleman named Amable, and when you go to these places where Christianity is pretty free in Burundi, thank God. But there's countries right around it where it's difficult. We work in South Sudan as well, and of course in Sudan, you can be killed for being a Christian. And so some of these places, they don't have the same sense that we do here in America, where there's a church on every corner, and I'm grateful for that. I love the variety and style and the freedom that we have here, and we complain about it sometimes, and there have been some negative things, but in these places, Iran, another country, Eritrea, where I've been praying for some pastors who have been in prison for decades now, to be able to come together in one place and not just hear from each other, but worship together. The technology, when used in the right way, is such a gift from God, and I love what Jenny's doing, and Jenny's been a friend of the ministry for many years. And so this is just such a huge opportunity, and I know that you will be blessed when you're a part of it. So again, I'll put this URL up here all day long today, gather25.com. Just go there, jump in, get some friends, especially if you know some people who are, they say they're Christians, but, they may be not as active in their Christian life. This might be a way to really wake them up and say, look, our world is so much bigger than the neighborhood, the town, the city that we live in. And there are people from all over the world, every tribe and every nation. That's the beauty. And in a world where we argue about man-made constructs like race, where we have cultural differences, very real cultural differences, this is the beauty of the church. Christ brings us all together as one. And I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care if you're male or female. I don't care what language you speak. When we come together in Christ, we are one. And that's what this weekend's about. So I hope you will be a part of Gather 25. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. So again, the website, gather25.com, looks like that. So jump on there real quick. Gather some friends together, maybe a church group. If you're in a small group like I am at my church, great opportunity for you to come together and worship. And the lineup, I'll give you a little bit more of the preview lineup. Louis Giglio, good friend, great guy. Priscilla Shire, wonderful. Matt Redman, worship leader. There's a lot of, Sadie Robertson, be part of it, Christine Kane. So you're going to recognize a lot of these people, Rick Warren. But then there will be some people that you don't recognize because they're from all around the world. And so a beautiful, beautiful gathering. So Gather 25. I'm very excited about this event. Unfortunately, I will be traveling during those 25 hours, so I won't be there. But unless, I don't know, we'll see if there's internet access on my airplane. I might jump in there and watch part of that because it's exciting. But appreciate you guys. Hit the share button. Let other people know about this. Maybe say, hey, what do you think about this? Could we do this? We could pull this off. It's not too late. It's this Friday and Saturday. Friday, 7 p.m. Central U.S. time. going on for 25 hours, and you can be a part of it at some point. All of it, little of it, jump in there. Appreciate you guys being here. Come back. We'll see you again next week on Life Today Live.